There's definitely a bit of lag there when I was watching the pre-stream trailer on... Yeah, it's lagging now. What do we do about this? Why? Thought that Twitch would be sorted because that issue on Thursday was due to a Cloudflare outage. It's definitely buffering. I've got it set to low latency. If I turn that off, that will make the stream go... basically lag really far behind. That's fixed the buffering issue if I turn off low latency on Twitch, but it also means that you're not going to be up to date on what's happening. I wonder if this is some anti... Oh, it's still buffering a little bit, even with low latency turned off. I wonder if this is some anti-multi-stream thing that they're doing. I kind of want to just check it if I don't stream to YouTube, but it means restarting the stream, which is kind of annoying for everybody. But there's no point if it's just going to like lag for everybody. That's not fun at all. I'm just looking at the stream. There's definitely so just looking at the stream health, which is my only indication of what is going on from my side. According to Twitch, I have a stable bitrate. I am not dropping any frames. There's nothing that it can say is wrong. Oh, you have to work tomorrow. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. So apparently my stream is stable, according to Twitch. Twitch thinks, great, you're giving us just under 7,000 kbps. There's very little jitter. You're not dropping any frames. I just want to make sure that it works for everybody. That's the thing. Like, I'm trying to build Twitch as a thing. I'm trying to turn this, build a bit of an audience here. But if it's going to lag, then no one's going to want to join. And that kind of sucks. And I don't think there's any point in continuing because it's not going to get better just by streaming, is it? I did speak to some other streamers last week, and they did say that they had the same problem, but everyone put it down to that Cloudflare issue that happened on Wednesday, Thursday, depending on where you live in the world. And I was expecting it to work today, now that we're back. But we are still having the same problem. And I don't really know what else I can do. I tried reaching out to Twitch support, but they didn't really get back to me. But I'm wondering if it's because I'm multi-streaming, because I've got a feeling that when I was just streaming... Yeah, in fact, when I was just streaming to Twitch on Thursday before we went to multi-stream, it was fine. And then I started multi-streaming for the actual Mechanica stream, and that's when it happened. I wonder if Twitch has done something, because I know that Twitch are against multi-streaming, or at least they used to be against multi-streaming. That's truly worse. It wouldn't do anything with the Twitch ads. You make a really good point there. The Twitch ads should not be affected by me multi-streaming. Well, let's just kick off, and I'll play it by ear. We'll see what other people who join on Twitch say. And let's actually just have a chill Saturday morning, Saturday evening, whatever time it is for you. So welcome back to Captain of Industry. Welcome to the Spaghetti Farm. We've been playing this for a few hours now, and I think we're doing pretty well. We're not kicking ass or anything, but we're doing all right. We've got a little bit of a backlog in terms of some of our resources. Hey, Mishaps, welcome back to YouTube. But that should start to fix itself now that we are properly automating everything. So we have our iron coming in here along with coal, and that's something we may need to do something about. We may need to actually move our coal into a different system, because this is backed up 100% with coal and iron. And the trucks can come here to take coal out, and we need coal to go to lots of other places. But if this balance changes, I think it's got separate tanks for both of these. Yeah, it does. So actually we need to worry about iron stopping. Well, we do actually. We've got 222 iron in the unsorted input. And if this fills up with iron, we won't be able to get any more coal out. So this is a risk for this stream, is we might need to replace this. But the iron and the coal are being automatically shipped into these three furnaces, and the coal is also going into the concrete maker, the rotary kiln as well, to make concrete. I've also got the slag from all of these being put into this loose storage, which is then going into this crusher, which is then going and being fed into our concrete factory, which is currently just finishing setting up a second part of. And we also have sand going into that as well. And I'm currently building a rock crusher as well, just for when we don't have any slag available. Over here we have an iron sorter. This is iron and sand. We've got plenty of sand at the moment. It might be quite good. It's a long way to go, but actually I am already building a raised conveyor belt to get sand automated, so we don't have to use trucks for that. And I've actually had to double up our copper storage because we're just not making enough copper right now. What I may do is, I think we need to automate the copper input, and I may double this up as well and make a second one of these and just hook it in. All of this is then feeding into a bunch of warehouses for tier 1 products. We've also got a rubber maker over here using oil to make rubber. And that is being fed into a number of automators. We've got, what are these? Construction parts being built here, 4 of them. We also have, what are these called? Mechanical parts being built here. I think we need to get a warehouse for these because they are just getting maxed out at the moment. And then we also have electronics being made here. So we've got a bunch of all the tier 1 outputs being created, and then they're being shipped over here, which we're making tier 2 finally automated. Over here we have the remains of what we were building before. We have wood storage and electronic storage. We have a maintenance depot, which is really important. We need to make sure that stays stocked. We have to actually have this at a high value. And then I've also got a machine making vehicle parts, which we should try and automate. It's just mechanical parts and electronics, which we have both of here. So that's something else to work on today. Other things that are going on, I'm waiting for our farms to be upgraded into the next level, which lets us pipe water into them, so we don't have to worry about them only growing crops when it's raining. I want to call them fertilized, that's not the right word, like hydrated. We've obviously got our diesel production over here for our energy, and then back here we have water, and then we also have our coal mine, our copper mine, our sand mine, our iron mine, which I'm very much worried about a mine collapse on, and finally we have our limestone. We've pretty much explored everywhere we can with our boat. We need to get guns for it. Let's unpause the game. While we're just sort of chilling here, I'm just going to let stuff build. I kind of want to just deal with the construction backlog that we have at the moment before we do anything else. How did that truck get? Oh, I can drive through here. Okay. I thought that truck was trapped in there for a second. I'm obviously just up, so I am drinking some coffee. What did you just do? Did you just take rock from somewhere? Ah, okay. They're taking rock from the rock storage and they're putting rock storage into the rock crusher. That's fine. That will get automated soon, but for now it can just build itself. How is everybody doing? For anyone brave enough to stay on Twitch, let me know how bad the experience is. I'm really upset about this. I'm gonna have to do some research, but if it is what I think it is, and it is an anti-multi-stream... No, it can't be, like you said, because it shouldn't affect the... Wait, are you... What did he just do? Oh, he put unsorted limestone into here. That's fine as well. That's okay. Okay. So, we're stuck at the moment. Our next kind of major goal is to get lab equipment automated. And we can automate lab equipment in a level 2 assembler, I think. We can't build it in a level 1 assembler. I don't actually have any level 2 assemblers yet. I'm going to upgrade all of these to level 2 assemblers once we get the rest of the construction fixed. At the moment, we're waiting for some stuff like this to get done. There's just little jobs here and there that I want the trucks to complete before we can move on. What we will do, though, is we'll have a quick look at the world map and just see if there's anywhere we can send the ship where we haven't found pirates. We could try over here, so let's explore over there. And send the boat off. I love the way it does like a massive power slide before it leaves. It's very cool. Oh, I've had a busy weekend. I'm pretty tired today. I'm very embarrassed about getting stuck in that cabin in in Voices of the Void, and all the comments are just saying all you need to do is hold down spacebar after you've jumped, and that will let you get out. I feel like such an idiot. So I'll have to see how that turns out once I get a chance to record that. But I feel really, really dumb for not realizing that that's what I needed to do. So yeah, we need this to build up. All of the stuff that is under construction requires level 2 construction parts, and that's where our backlog is at the moment. We only have 5 of them available right now. Concrete is also an issue, but we are getting on top of that. Now that I've properly automated all of this, it just needs room on the conveyor belts to fill out. And once we get the second set of concrete mixers working as well, we should have tons of concrete, and I think we'll be pretty fine there. In terms of people, we're currently sitting at 385 out of 400, which is a little bit of an issue. I would like to upgrade our housing to housing 2, which will fit more people, but at the moment we just don't have the construction materials. We've actually got a lot of new buildings available to us through research that we haven't really built yet. So we've got the research lab level 2 we can't build yet. We've got housing level 2, which, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so housing 1 is for 80 people. Advanced housing for 140 people that provides more comfort. It can also provide a monthly unity increase if the housing is provided with required services. Housing must either be attached to existing settlement to become part of it, or be placed independently to establish itself as a new settlement, in which case you need to attach new service modules. So we're going to upgrade this. It's going to massively increase the amount of people we can have. There's also, we can now place down trees to beautify the area. And we've got the flat sorter, which I haven't built yet. I think there's just a few like balancers and stuff I haven't built. The stacker's interesting. Dumps material from connected conveyor belts directly onto the terrain. Oh, ships in battle. Okay, that's no good. Then we've got the fluid, and we've got molten as well. I'm just going to click on all these so they come off my thing. So I think what we can do with the stacker is we can actually have it like pour. I'm not sure if it works, but I think you can have it pour into something like this. So you can actually have your belts come back around on themselves, or you can just have it, you know, offshore, just pouring into the void if you want to. Then I've also got new terraforming tools. I've got the retaining wall, which we probably need to build, honestly. We've got the forestry control tower where we can rebuild our forests, and we have new surfaces: stone, cobblestone, brick, and metal. One thing I would like to maybe do is build some retaining walls. I don't know what retaining walls, what materials they require. It's just concrete and iron. But I don't really know how they would work for this type of mine, because they kind of work underground. So you put a retaining wall here if you were digging into the earth, but you wouldn't build it up. Like, it doesn't really go along here. I could actually build retaining walls here. My eventual plan is to dig all of this out. So I think we just leave the retaining walls until we start digging down into the earth. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, I've just talked. How is everybody doing? I would like to know. I missed my chat. I wanna connect with you today while I get all this done. Okay. Oops, that's the console. We don't want that. Right. So again, we are just waiting at the moment for a lot of this construction work to be done. The level 2, these are getting grabbed and used for stuff. I'm just not sure where they're getting grabbed. I think it's just for all of these conveyor belts is what we're working on at the moment. We don't need retaining walls. Be brave. Yeah, exactly, Miss Apps. We can just trust. We can just trust that we're not going to collapse it on ourselves, right? It's all going to be fine. Do I need another? I'm thinking about maybe hooking up another one of these constructors to the level 2s. Hey Core, how's it going? Let us know how things are on Twitch. Apparently it's still a bit laggy. And I'm curious if now the stream's established itself and kind of things have been running for a few minutes, it may have quietened down a little bit. It may have sorted itself out. Excellent. You can just chill. Thank you for coming in and chilling. Is this empty? This is empty. We may as well demolish this, reclaim the construction materials. It is no longer needed for our requirements, and we can also get rid of this little bit of conveyor here, which will allow us to reclaim some construction 2 materials. There you go. Now we've got this section here done, so we've now opened up some more concrete production. Now it's interesting, why is this not producing anything right now? It is actually working, okay. So it comes out in batches, which is something you need to be aware of. It's not like a constant flow. It is like a batched flow. So this is now running, which will then output into here, but unfortunately this isn't done yet. So once we get this concrete backlog sorted, we should be pretty good. The concrete is like just a hold-off point at the moment. Is there anywhere else we can send the boat? So this is all blocked from pirates. There is this here. That's almost definitely pirates. We could maybe go this way. That's a long trip, 533 kilometers. To actually answer your question, I'm doing pretty well. Still being completely useless, but at least I've been doing some art recently. Awesome. I guess you're just sort of in that weird post-graduation looking for jobs, but not 100% sure what you're wanting to kind of commit to. I'm sure you've got like a dream job you want to do, but I know it's pretty difficult at the start. I was kind of just thrown into the workforce, so I didn't really get the chance to kind of think about it. Oh, that does suck. I can empathize with that. That is quite difficult, especially when you're just in that very early phase of a relationship, which I think, if I remember correctly, you are. We just want to kind of be around each other all the time. All right, concrete is backing up. This is very important. Yeah, cool. Well, hopefully they get back before too long, and you can hang out with her again. Because I just noticed that the captain's office has a nice anchor outside it. Also, I love that I get this nice wooden house, and all the rest of my people are forced to live in literal shipping containers. Nothing about this screams cult at all. Okay, we're almost caught up on construction. I want to build up a little bit of a backlog, and then we'll start getting some more stuff automated. The one thing I do want to automate is I do want to automate the vehicle parts. I've got a job lined up, still working on some research project I was doing pre-graduation, so such July. Okay, cool. Hey Crash Test, how are you going? This is Captain of Industry. It's kind of similar to Factorio. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world, and we're trying to bootstrap civilization back into action, basically. That's kind of what's happening here. So I'm going to build another assembler here, and then we're going to pipe in. I want conveyors. I want not U-shaped conveyors. I want a flat conveyor. Well, first of all, we want this to make vehicle parts. So that needs these and this. So we're just going to ship in flat conveyor from here to here, and we're going to ship in from this electronics manufacturer. We'll come up to, cross over this, come down to, and ship it in here. Now the ship's being attacked again. Next step in the game is we need to get our research labs upgraded. At the moment, our people are all living in shipping containers. So we're basically looking at upgrades. We've just unlocked what's called construction level 2, which is what this little factory here is making. We've got a big backlog of jobs that require construction level 2 because all of the conveyor belts that we're using require construction level 2. So we're basically clearing the construction level 2 backlog, trying to build up a little bit of a stockpile of construction level 2, and then we're going to use that to upgrade our housing, upgrade our farming, upgrade our research, and move on to the next stage, which is steam power. Currently we're refining oil into diesel, which isn't the most efficient way of making power. So we want to move into yes, Crashers did just get added to the truck naming pool. We'll need to find a truck for them to be named after. There's the reverse, there's Core, there's Michaela Klein. Who we got here? We've got Thomas Persake, we've got Jive Crew, Many-Headed Mishaps the Truck, Wolfie, Pork Chop Express, Bonga Bazooka, Core 21 again. There's Karthakuda, there's Klein again, Jive Crew again. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled for a truck that hasn't got a name. There's Dr. Doctor, Ideos 40, Thomas again. Who's over here? Trucktonius. Trucktonius is a good name. Pickup, here we go. Crash test. Yes, I know it sounds like it's a backwards progression crash, but it's all about capacity. The diesel generators can't handle, although they're maybe more efficient in small scale, they're not efficient with the amount of power that we need. So we want to move from what we're doing right now, which is diesel, to a much more sustainable, in terms of long-term power, coal production, until we can move on to something like uranium. Also, we have a big boat, but the boat has no guns, which means it's continually getting clapped when it goes out to do battle. So we need to get some guns built for this. Is there nuclear in this game? Yes, there's nuclear in this game, Naughty Jug, and it's really complicated. Like, horrendously complicated. Okay, so we've got our assembly 1 working. So that's getting us our vehicle parts automated. So we can actually turn this off. So trucks cannot import cargo. And then this can be deprecated over time. We have coal, though. We do have diesel. This is diesel here. Diesel right here. So this little factory here is producing diesel. We've got crude oil coming up from these 3 pumps. They're going into this basic distiller. It's using coal and oil to create diesel and wastewater. That diesel's coming in here, and then we're using the diesel to create rubber, to fuel our vehicles, and to create 3.2 megawatts of power right now. And then the rest of the wastewater is just being dumped into the sea because we're terrible polluters. One of the things this game has, Crash Test, is terrain deformation. So this iron pile here started as a mountain. We've managed to erode away all of this. And we're also dumping all of our waste into the sea here. So you can see this is just a massive pile of rubbish that's being used to extend the terrain out here. So there's quite a lot going on. We've got a little concrete factory here. So this is bringing in, we're using a rotary kiln to turn limestone into cement. And then we're using sand and cement and either slag or crushed rock to mix that into concrete slabs. and then they're getting shipped into our different warehouses, which are then being used to create the tools that we need for construction. We're just waiting for a couple of jobs to complete, so we're waiting for all of this pipe work to be completed. It's almost done, and when it is, we'll finally have covered all of the backlog that we have for construction, and we can start moving on to something new. But I just want to get this done before I put down any more serious building works, because otherwise they're just never going to get completed, and I really need them to be completed. The idea here is to automate as much as possible so that we're not using trucks to move around raw materials, because the trucks are pretty inefficient. They take a long time, they don't carry that much, and they require diesel to move, and they also require workers to move, whereas the conveyor belts do not require anyone working on them to move stuff, and they don't need diesel to move, they just need power. So I guess technically they do need diesel to move, but not long term. I actually don't know any big diesel power plants. I know about coal, trash, and gas, not the car fuel type of gas. Yeah, never really big. Exactly. I don't think diesel is good for large scale power. I think it's very handy for small scale power. I think the trash at the moment is just what we can get, but I do believe there are waste to energy power plants later in the game. At which point, if we want to, we can dig the trash back up, although a lot of it has fallen into the sea. So there is quite a strong sustainability message in this game, where all the later game stuff kind of, I think, focused towards sustainability, whereas the early game is very wasteful. Which is, I don't know how World War II battleship comes with additional battle, but yes. Well, this is going to turn into a World War battleship once we get the ability to put guns on it, which we can't do yet, but we will soon. Because we also, Crash, have the ability to explore the world, although most of the world is pirates right now. Everywhere we've gone, in fact, every route... Oh, we haven't gone down here. We'll send the ship off to check that out. Bye, ship. Biggest oil edge you can think of yet. Bye, ship. it just cruises off. It's really funny. How far does it go before it disappears? Does it just hit the edge of the map, or does it actually zoom out? It vanishes. I love it. Oh, here you go. You get to see a rubbish dump. Yeah. I guess it's an oil-powered carrier. So I thought all the carriers were nuclear-powered. I guess if you're not America, you probably don't have a nuclear-powered carrier. We are super backed up on copper at the moment, which I'm not happy about. But also means we don't need to dig any copper right now. All big tankers are basically running on oil. Cheapest fuel they can find. Yeah, cheap. That's it. It's cheap and simple, isn't it? And I want to get off that. So the research tree is pretty interesting. Oh, no, that's not the research tree. How do I access research again? Here. So we're currently sitting here at Research Lab 1. Everything past Research Lab 1 requires a new type of research material, which we don't have yet. The next thing we're looking for is power generation 2, which is boilers, turbines, generators, and flywheels. We're also looking at maintenance depot 2 is really important. The cargo depot, I think, lets us bring stuff in from outside. Pipes too. Turns out if we increase the pipe diameter, it's higher throughput. Oh, interesting. Advanced diesel is also here, so we can, if we want to, stick with diesel, I think, but we don't really want to do that. There's also biofuel too as an option for power. And then there's also the burner here, which lets us burn waste for air pollution, which it doesn't sound great, but it is a prerequisite to wheat farming, so we may need to go that way. There's an electric boiler there as well. Yeah, but there was an attempt to have commercial use run nuclear power. It didn't really go very well. Oh, wow. Oh, cool. French have a nuclear powered aircraft carrier. I did not know that. That's good to know. Oh, it's lightning. Oh, it's lightning. Why is this not getting built? I guess we still have a backlog. Where are my construction materials going right now? What are they being used to build? Is it just to upgrade these? Are they getting supplied? Yes, okay. They're being taken to the farms. That's what's eating up all of our level 2 construction materials. Oh. The ship is being attacked by pirates again. 2 pirate ships. Damn. Buddy McBoatface is escaping because there's no usable weapons. Okay, Buddy McBoatface escapes instantly. So we really, really, really are screwed for exploration until we get our hands on some guns. That's very apparent. So it's really all about these two, just as soon as possible. Oh, sorry, another captain of industry stream in chat is already started by boat engines. That's what we do here. So I want to upgrade these. I might be worth upgrading all of these ASAP, but we'll wait for a second. Can we make it as off-topic as... I mean, last time was pretty off-topic. We have to agree. It went a bit weird last time. I can't remember what we're talking about. I just remember it being strange. It's a pretty high bar. Yeah, I think it was a high bar last time. Okay, well, I'm going to fast forward to super speed while we wait for the rest of the construction to complete. It really is... I don't want to do anything until this is done. like I said, I just want to get it out of the way. So it's all about this big conveyor belt that's going to move sand. And then I think we also need to build a second. In fact, one thing we do need to do, and I don't think it's too big of an issue to lay down, is if I just put a flat conveyor from this copper output, and we go up 3. It can go like this, I think, to here, and then bring it to here, and go down 3. 1, 2, 3. Just so the copper is being... Wait, is that not a valid input? Oh, I'm using the wrong type of conveyor tower. I need to use a loose U-shaped conveyor. So 1, 2, 3. I think I can just go straight across. And then to here. Yeah, that's fine. Just so we can automate the copper coming from here into here, so trucks don't need to drive across. One problem we don't have is we don't have a coal input, and we don't have... Well, what we could do is we could actually fix some of our problems. If I put a loose storage unit here... Oh, I can't. It'll have to be like here, I think. And then attach that with more U-shape into here. And then set this to coal. That will mean they'll start pulling coal from over here and storing it in here, which just gives me a little bit of headroom. And I can attach this to another a copper automator when I've got that done. The nice thing about normal power generation is that it kills you just as fast as people who don't have a problem with it. Wow, Dilly Perverse. It would be a mess. Imagine having to have nuclear qualified engineers on cargo ships and stuff. On top of all the other specialized people that you need to get them working. It would be really hard to crew them, I think. And then you'd have to make sure like you keep it maintained and everything. I think it would be a little bit of a nightmare. So there we go. We're now actually moving copper automatically into the copper. I wanted to call it a refinery. It is a refinery. No, it's a blast furnace, which will help us with the copper backlog, the massive copper backlog that we have within the ore sorting plant. Which means that makes me worried about our sand situation, honestly. Wait, he's just delivering copper. I guess he can deliver copper straight through because that was just pure copper. It doesn't need to be sorted like this does. So that's something. How is the stream going on Twitch Core? I haven't actually seen you chat, so you may have fallen asleep. I notice everyone is on YouTube, which makes me think that the Twitch stream is just unwatchable, which is a real shame. In fact, I might just take my phone off my network, put it on the 5G while we're waiting here, and just load up Twitch. Oh no, I can't on my phone. It doesn't work, does it? Damn. Alright, let's just wait for this to finish. We're still at... Well, let's go back to max speed. Come on, Construction 2. I really want to make some progress here, but I can't until you're finished. Alright, let's turn off imports for this. Yeah, trucks only if belts and pipes can't. Cool. So now they'll bring the coal here instead of to here, and this should now do consistent electrolysis of the copper to deliver it over to the copper warehouse, which is over here and it's almost full. But it should help us start to properly get through our copper backlog, which is very high. And I'm hoping that means we can actually start moving forward a little bit in this area. So we're basically... Okay, this field is now done. You can see it now has... I was going to call them watering lines. So now we need to pipe water into this field. We don't actually have water over here, do we? Yeah, we do. We've got water here. So let's not do what we did last time and pipe the sewage into the water supply. But let's add in water transport. So I need a pipe. I need to make sure I connect it to this pipe. Cannot join if not flat. So I can join in here. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that the tractors can get underneath. And we'll connect to here. And then we'll drive along. Hey, Lightning Dragon, how are we doing? I'm loving the game. It's very chill. And it's very much a vibe for me right now. My life has gotten so stressful at work. That I'm really needing like this kind of very relaxed atmosphere in the games I'm playing right now, and this is just a really nice way for me to spend my Saturday mornings. So actually, this is Saturday. It's like 8 a.m. for me. Oh, so the NSFM had other issues being a passenger cargo lighter combo. Oh my god, I love the stuff that got built like at the end of the war. Yeah, let's make a passenger combination liner ship. Why can't I get this to work? I think I need to click on the corner here. It's really not liking me doing this. It's because of this tree. It does not want to mess with this tree. I guess we'll just have to go make it... I don't want to do this because of the fertilizer input, but I guess we can rebuild that down the road. So that's supplied with water. Now this is going to need to be supplied with water, and this also already needs water, and the water supply is all the way over there. But we also have a water supply here. So 1, 2, oh, 1... Oh, it's already at 5. Excellent. So we just need to drive this all the way to here. Hold on, shift. Oops, whoa. Okay, shift does not do what I thought it did. So just bring this over. And then plug it in. So that's that field now also getting fresh water. So we just now need to do one more field. Oh, look, you can actually see it shooting the water out. That's cool. So now we have irrigated fields. We're just waiting for this one to finish its irrigation. And then once that's done, the construction requirements on everything else will be lifted and everything else should get built. Let's apply the switch to the water supply. Let's not build returning walls in our mind. What is it nonsense? We're not playing Ocean Simulator here. Am I just far too protective of my people? Am I looking after them too much? So how many does this need to upgrade? It only needs a few more. So you're currently growing vegetables and potatoes. You're growing potatoes and vegetables. And then I think you're covering the other side of the year. Yeah. Oh, there we go. It's upgrading now. You have them to get cleaned up. Not many deaths rolled. Chernobyl's about 4,000. Most because they tried to hide it. Yeah. Chernobyl really is like a cultural bugbear. It's something that people just do not really forget about. People really hold on to Chernobyl. And I understand why. I'm not saying they shouldn't. But it really is like cultural, like everyone just, you think about nuclear power plants and disasters, your mind instantly goes to Chernobyl. Okay, I need to cross here without hitting up the wastewater, but I think that's going to work. Or I don't want to do that, that's for sure. There we go. And now we have water going to all of our farms, and the vehicles can drive through, so we're not blocking anything. That now means that they should now be able to finish this, which is almost done, and this elevator here. You know, just a power generation kills people, but no one really cares because it's not an immediate threat, yeah. Next to the molten iron vats. What does society come to? Look, we don't have any railings next to the molten iron vats, okay? Nor do we have any railings next to the electrolysis pits. Yeah, people can just have a swim in whatever this is. I think it's supposed to be water. It's definitely a fear about nuclear power. Not going to be rational, but it's way beyond what it needs to. I think that's actually... Oh, here we go. We're going off piste again. I actually think a lot of that fear of nuclear power is a political pressure. There was recently an election campaign in Australia, and a big part of that election campaign was the future of power in Australia, because at the moment we're quite heavily reliant on fossil fuels. Australia has abundant coal reserves, a lot of which gets sold to China. And basically there was a party divide on whether we move to nuclear, renewable, or we double down on fossil. And there was a lot of fear-mongering done by the ones that wanted to switch to fossil fuels about the dangers of nuclear power, even though, you know, it's 2025. So I think a lot of that fear comes from, like, political pressure and lobbying. Reason for fear of nuclear power is the fear of cancer, nuclear bombs, and oil companies. Yeah, and oil companies I think is a big part of it. A lot of fears misplaced, mishaps. But I'm excited about the new research into fusion power. System stops itself. See, yeah, France really do seem to have their heads on the right place there with their heavy investment into fusion research, which is slowly looking like it might pay off. Yeah, exactly, mishaps. There is a vested interest in keeping us on fossil fuels because it's a major employer, it's a major moneymaker, and we are indeed straying into the political conversation again where my views are becoming once again apparent. Okay, let's get this massive conveyor belt finished, please, so we can move on to something new. I'm also slowly waking up. I was very sleepy when I started the stream today. It's been long. Also, hey Jackie, I forgot to say hello to you. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out today with some Captain of Industry. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to play Captain of Industry for on the channel, because the game is slowing down a lot, and we're kind of getting into territory I know nothing about. I've never gotten this far in the game before, so at some point I'm going to make a huge mistake and the whole place is going to die in a failure spiral, and that's the point where we're probably going to have to rethink what we're playing. But I guess for now we're doing okay. I do like that we've got these little fuel trucks that go about now. Who's this? This is Leapverst. Does Jackie Lawson have a truck named after them? I can't remember. I do think Shiver Nuclear is basically sales. Yeah, right now new renewables are a much cheaper alternative, cheaper per kilowatt, but I think we should have bet on nuclear like 40 years ago. It probably has. Unless someone finds a different way of doing it, we're probably past that point. Unfortunately. Hey, look, the conveyor belt's done. So now we're shipping sand all the way from over here to over here. Okay, that's huge. We can now start looking at some other stuff. So the first things I want to do is I want to upgrade all of our assembly machines. So I'm just going to mark them all for upgrade. Can I just double click and select them all? No, I can't. Upgrading all of these will allow us to produce things much faster. And it won't take, they don't need that many construction materials to be upgraded. So I'm just going to quickly mark these all for upgrade. It would be good to immediate step. Yeah, it would have. The company I work for, actually, no, I can't give away that much information about myself, sorry. But yeah, there's a lot of rhetoric in Australia about renewables as well, because Australia has a lot of obviously open flat land. So we actually have solar farms as well as wind farms, and there's a lot of anti sort of, oh, but they don't produce power when it's dark kind of rhetoric going around about them as well, which is a shame, but that's just what happens. So let's have a quick look. I need to get one of these to level 2 anyway to find out what we need to make lab parts. So this is now a level 2 assembly machine. Now for lab parts, we need mechanical parts and electronics, exactly the same as vehicle parts. So essentially, we can just double this up to make lab parts. Now I have probably this machine here, or we could just reuse this machine here. I think we just reuse this machine here. We put a splitter in, we put a second one of these down. I'm not sure what the end goal for broken panels is, if they can be recycled or not, but that's actually a really interesting one to explore. So let's put down, we're just going to go straight for an assembler 2, and I'm going to put the assembler 2 here, I think, and we're going to give it its own input, I think, as well. So set this up, I'm going to set this to produce lab parts, and then I want to get a flat conveyor 1 into here. And to make sure that people can still drive between these, then I want a flat connects multiple conveyor belts and distributes. That's all we need this to do. It doesn't need to be special. So put this here, and then you can come here, and then into here. And that will let us produce our lab parts. And I hope they have left them. Yeah, and then I also want to add in a unit storage to this. And we also need a unit storage here as well. Cool. And let me just make sure these are all set to not accept products, because I want to deprecate these over the long term. A lot of the current designs have various rare toxic otherwise floating into them. Hello, Explosive Waffles. Congratulations on waking from your nap. Thank you for joining the stream. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I heard that you managed to attract some crows to your crow feeders, and that is really cool. I'd love to be a crow friend. Corvids in Australia are funny. You do get crows, but the majority of what you get are magpies, which are corvids. And the magpies here are really smart. And they're also extremely territorial. So we have a period of the year in spring called swooping season, where the magpies are all nesting, and they become extremely aggressive in defending their nests, and they will swoop you, and some of them will attack your head. And people have been known to get claw damage to their faces. Some people have lost their eyes, and it's pretty nasty. But you can also make friends with the magpies if you look after them and you feed them. They will not swoop you. Which more people should probably do, but they don't. They just complain about it. So Toasted, we're having continual problems with with Twitch at the moment. I don't know what the problem is. I thought it might be me multi-streaming, but apparently it's also happening with ads. So I don't know if it's me or something else. I've reached out to Twitch support. I haven't had an answer yet. I would recommend jumping over to YouTube for now, because YouTube does not have any issues. Even though I'm desperate to build the Twitch audience, there's nothing I can really do. I heard if you stare them down, the magpies won't swoop. Honestly, the magpies are pretty scary. They're really big. They're not like magpies you get in Europe. I don't know what magpies are like in America. I don't know what your sort of version of the magpie is like. But in Australia, they're pretty spooky. And I would be scared to stare down a magpie, if I'm being completely honest. I wouldn't want to do that. I think I would lose that fight. I would like to make friends with magpies, though. I think that would be a pretty cool thing to do. All right, once we got the lab parts done, we're going to start upgrading our research centers, and then we're going to upgrade all of our houses. And once we've done all of that, we're going to research steam power, and we're going to start setting steam power up, because we've been static in research for too long now. Once all of these get upgraded, though, we'll end up in a really nice situation where we've got a ton of construction materials to work with. We're still, unfortunately, stuck with that backlog. This lift is finally fixed, though, so we now have this actually producing some tier 1 construction materials. I'm actually going to, I think we need to do it. I'm going to hook in this conveyor to this belt here. And I'm going to hook in this to this belt here. just to double up the amount of construction materials that are coming in, because that's what we're waiting on all the time is the construction materials. Random Terror Victor thought, but since my credit card run is imploding, I'm pretty sure the bad event is triggered by a full solar system skywatch. Yes, it is. Did you get the bad event? How did you start? YouTube is a big stream, so yes, it is at the moment. The stream was hitching crazy hard and unwatchable. Yeah, it is toasted. I don't know if you caught us explaining that to you. Something is up on Twitch. I don't know what it is. It isn't multi-streaming as far as we can tell. It's just Twitch isn't working properly. So what if you want to delay that tech to give yourself time to build up? Wait. Yeah, you probably do mishaps. You want to try. What you want to do is, as the Academy, is try and control research right from the start of the game. You want to stop the AI from being able to pick research topics as much as possible, almost to the detriment of your other goals because of what happens when Skywatch gets completed. And the only advantage you really have to that is that you start with the International Space Station. The other option is rush it, yeah, and then build up from nothing. But that event is, like, I think that event honestly kills everybody's first Academy run that they come into blind, because they don't know that that's going to happen. And they think, oh, this is great, the Academy has such a great start, we're doing so well, everyone loves science. And then it's like, gotcha, basically. Which is funny, but also pretty harsh. Okay, we're stuck waiting for construction to happen. We've got such an awful backlog thanks to Construction 2 just not being done very well. I knew it was coming, but not when, and so you actually knew it was going to happen. I didn't know precisely what did it, yeah. It caught me out the first time, because I actually really wanted to do an Academy run. I was looking at doing it as a YouTube series rather than a stream series. It does tell you the Academy is a hard faction. Yes, it does. Okay, so that's a little bit more automation for our Construction 2s happening, which is good. Well, look at the backlog of Construction 1s that were in that machine. They're just constantly firing out right now. I think the Academy gets the option of securing America, so I think could just get more Academy opinion on average. So what happens, Crash Test, if you there is an event that fires once the system Skywatch happens, that basically makes the entire world lose opinion on the Academy. And what generally happens after that is the Academy loses all of its territory, because it's so easy for people to take it off them at that point. Yeah. Oh, you do know about that. Okay. I wasn't sure if you knew about it or not, but it sounds like you do. There we go. That's the second conveyor belt built. That now will increase the amount of... So now we actually have a backlog of construction materials. This means this will continually produce rather than sitting and waiting for another delivery, especially because we need 12, and these are only producing 4 per pump. Actually, Perrin 2, I think I understand the gist of all the factions. Yeah. Well, Perrin really is like much better than me at the whole game. Random chunks of Eastern Europe. That's fine. You can bring Eastern Europe together and then use that to pressure the rest of Europe. Once you've got your mission control. One nice thing about Europe is it really is a great target for the early game in a way that means you don't have to worry, excuse me, I'm hiccuping, about control points, because you're constantly amalgamating countries together and your control points just kind of stay static, rather than the problem I'm having at the moment, which is I can't stay on top of them. Okay, I'm just checking a message I got. Other times the givers given a hard faction on brutal difficulty. Yeah, look, I'm playing on normal and I'm having a hard campaign, so good luck on brutal. All right, there we go. We're now constantly producing Construction 2. That's great. So now we can finish upgrading all of these. I think actually the most interesting play is you don't have the option to ignore Earth. Yeah, you do. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I'm actually having to spend so much time on Earth at the moment that it's almost like I'm just playing the Resistance. Because I just can't afford to lose the research that Earth is giving me. It's so important to the faction that I can't step away from Earth. Now that I can build research campuses, I could start to transition away, but then I require the mission control. And until you get command centers, it's just not efficient enough to build mission control on space stations, especially because the aliens really want to target those space stations. I would say the Resistance is a pretty fun playthrough. And you can pretend that you're the good guys. I mean, I don't know if they are the good guys or not, but they definitely like feel the most good guy faction, if that's how you want to look at it. All right, so we're slowly starting to upgrade these to level 2. We're just waiting for that to go through. We now have constant construction part 2. You can have a look. If you look here, you'll see our construction part 2 is now spiking upwards, or almost meeting demand after being under demand for so long. which is good, and our quantity are also coming up as well, which is really nice. The resistance is XCOM, yeah. They even have an XCOM. They even have a special, like not XCOM organization that only they can use. Oh, I'm sleepy today. I want to try and record some Star Sector today. I didn't manage to do it last weekend. I was really hoping to play Netrunner next weekend, but I'm not going to be able to because I've got to go to an event. And I think I'll be too tired the next day to actually run some nets, which is a shame. But, oh well. Yeah, look, Toasted, this is a very similar thing that happened with Long War, which is the devs' first project was Long War for XCOM Enemy Unknown and Enemy Within. And that was a big complaint I remember at that time, was that whenever someone would find a cool new strategy in Long War, generally it would get nerfed because the devs had a very specific way that they wanted people to play the game. And if you stepped outside that vision, they would basically get annoyed and nerf it, which I'm not sure like how correct that is, but I'm pretty sure that is also the same case for XCOM 2's Long War, which I never really played because it was just so long, and I'd also played XCOM 2 to death by the time Long War came out, and I just couldn't bring myself to do another campaign. But that has always been a little bit of a complaint, I think, about Pavonis. Is it's a little bit their way or the highway. There's a new update for Star Sector. Yes, there is an update for Star Sector, but it will break all of my mods. So unless I want to start a new vanilla campaign, which a few people have said I should do, a lot of people are saying that I shouldn't be playing modded and I should play vanilla with a few quality of life mods and actually complete the game that way and then come back to a modded playthrough. Unless I want to do that, then I can't really update because it'll break a lot of the mods. Some of the mods I'm using haven't been updated for the new version. And I don't want to run into major compatibility issues. Okay, we've almost got all of these guys upgraded. I also have... I've set my... as soon as these are done, we're just going to upgrade our research centers. And we're going to upgrade our housing as well. I want to get the housing upgraded. And there's more lightning. How are we doing for backup? So we've got 75% backup vegetables and 96%. Okay, so we're doing quite good with food. I think the fuel mod you have is really punishing because exploration is so rewarding. Yes, I am feeling that way. There is a way. So the fuel mod that I'm using, there is a way to fix the fuel issue. It's supposed to be a a thing that you're doing for a while. Yeah, Netrunner. I've built decks I want to play. I'm supposed to be playing with people at work, but because the dog has been sick, instead of hanging back after work on a Friday, I've been taking her to the vet, and it's happened for the last 3 weeks, so I haven't been able to play, and that's what I'm frustrated about. So the dog. So yeah, that fuel mod for Netrunner. Oh my goodness, that fuel mod for Star Sector is supposed to have a way of fixing the fuel problem. But you need to get your fuel capacity to a certain level that you can travel in hyperspace for enough time that you like uncover some stuff about what's going on. And at the moment, I can't hit that limit. It's too detrimental to my my income. So that's something we should fix. We should toast it. It's just finding the time to do it. I just have no time. If I'm not streaming, I'm trying to record, and if I'm not recording, I'm sleeping at the moment, or I'm cooking, which is the one way I like to de-stress is cooking food. Not enough. Oh, that's not good. Why do we not have enough maintenance? Do I need to build another maintenance building? Not enough maintenance 1. I mean, I've got maintenance 1. Okay, so we don't having enough electronics being delivered into this building is what I'm seeing. Am I producing maintenance? Yeah, I am. So I'm producing from here. Does this building only have... This building has 2 inputs. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to build a new maintenance depot over here. Where is the maintenance depot? Because this is one of the most important buildings in the game. And if this thing dies, we are absolutely hosed. Because all of our trucks stop working. Research lab, captain's office, shipyard. Where is the maintenance lab? Oh, it'll be here. No? Where's maintenance? Adequacy is full-time streaming the content creation desired goals. I'd love to do it toasted. It's miles off. I basically because I refuse to run interstitial ads on my videos, and because I don't let YouTube, so YouTube's finally forced me to run ads on streams, which I never wanted to do in the past. But I've got it set to the most minimal level possible. I basically make nothing off streaming or videos. So in terms of like supporting myself as an income, it's never going to happen unless I get really predatory with it, or I sign up for like dodgy brand deals that I don't want to do. So it's never going to happen for me at the current rate that I'm kind of pursuing it. Also, YouTube itself has tailed off massively in the last year. So I'm not getting the viewership that I used to get at all. It's actually gotten I can't find the maintenance building for trucks. Fuel station ramp. So that's really a big issue. Yeah, I should maybe bring the Ko-Fi up. I do have a Ko-Fi, and I've got a few people supporting me on Ko-Fi, which is I need to click on maintenance. There we go. There's the maintenance depot, and that's really, really nice. But I feel awful bringing it up. I probably should. I should be a little bit more mercenary, but I just don't like to. I like to let. I guess if people don't know about it, how they're gonna support me, right? But at the same time, I don't want to be like begging, which is what I feel like. I've got this stupid British pride. That's a big part of it. Ceasing is dangerous when you switch from hobby to career. Yeah, that's the thing. And I do quite like it as a hobby. It's fun as a hobby. I don't know if it would be as fun as a career. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then around to here, and then to here. Will that work if I put it here, and then into here? I think I want to keep it at level 3 till we get to about here, and then we'll just get it to dip down. There you go. That will automate maintenance production, which is one that we're struggling with a little bit. I mean, people are also offering me support. I'm actually making a little bit of money off Twitch for the first time, which is something I've never done until this month. There's been a big put, like Twitch got really popular since I got back from the UK. Twitch has been doing really well, and I'm actually almost earning more on Twitch than I am on YouTube, which is nice. It's nice for me as like a little bit of a reward. For treats. Like, the one thing that it does pay for, that I make sure it pays for, is the tools that I use to make videos is what I use YouTube and Twitch to pay for. So like my internet is covered by this, and my Canva subscription basically, and that's all it covers. But that's great because it means I can use Canva to do my like some stuff in videos, and also for my like thumbnails and things. And then it also covers my internet costs, which is huge. Like, not huge as the internet cost is huge. It just means that this covers one of my utilities. And that's great. Like, for a hobby, I'm really happy with that. What I would like to do is have more time to produce better content. I don't care about metrics or chasing it. Yeah, pretty much mishaps. That's what I like. I would like the ability to not worry that I'm wasting time if I sit down and work on a video for a couple of hours on the weekend. And that's one of the big issues with the Homeworld 3 review, which I really want to get out, is that the amount of work I still need to put into it is quite scary. And it's a lot of time. Yeah, but then I have to pay the editor. That's the problem. And like I can't afford to pay myself, so how can I afford to pay an editor? That's kind of my thoughts there. I would like to do more stuff like a proper Xenonauts campaign, which I'm looking forward to doing when the next update comes out. I would like to go back to High Fleet. I want to properly do Star Sector. I also worry about releasing too many videos. So like right now I'm only releasing Voices of the Void and Star Sector rarely on YouTube. But there was a period where I would do like a High Fleet video, a Phantom Brigade video, and a something else video every week on YouTube. And I was worried that it would be like too much. Like people would be like, "Oh, this person is spamming YouTube with content. Let's like unsubscribe from them." That's the kind of thing I worry about. Oh yeah, Crash Test. There is definitely a Homeworld review. It's been in the works for over a year. It is taking up so much mental energy from me at the moment, but we'll get there. Machine is broken as it lacks maintenance. Damn it. Okay, we need to buy maintenance. That is our only option right now. Can I actually buy maintenance? Oh, already present in its way. Oh wait, this is the village. This is the village here. Can I buy maintenance from you? Construction. I can't. I can't borrow maintenance from them. Can I borrow maintenance from these guys? fuel, metal, wood, chickens, uranium, copper ore, sugarcane. I can't import maintenance from them either. So it just has to be produced. So what we need to do is we need to set this to a very high... It already is at a high priority, but now it needs to go to the highest priority while we get the maintenance operated. Don't worry about releasing too many videos. I look for this. I already know an editor. Who do I know that's an editor? The machine is broken as it lacks maintenance. This is the problem. Everything is breaking. Remember I talked about a death spiral that could end the whole game? This is that death spiral. If we can't get the maintenance sorted, which is just this esoteric thing. Oh, that's the problem, is I have a global demand for 240 maintenance, and my maintenance facility can only produce 60. That's what the issue is. And now I understand. Our maintenance demand is, I think, 4 times over what we're producing. That's pretty scary. That would indeed explain it. So this is going to help a little bit, but we're going to need to build another 3 of these. So let's do that now. Where was maintenance again? I think it was here. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to need to build 3 of these. So 1, 2. I should need to build 4 of them. 3, 4. That will cover my requirements. And then I need to pipe in the what they need into all 4 of them, which is going to be a little bit of a mess. We'll use elevators, I think, to do it. So we'll need flat elevators up to level. I can't remember how to do this. I click and then I go up to 4. So that's at level 4. Click 1, 2, 3. Actually, these at level 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I didn't know that, Latin Dragon. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, I've done these the wrong way around. This is what happens. They always come the wrong way around, these things. Delete. Delete. Okay. Oh, no, we need to click, and then 1, 2, 3. Wait, I've done it wrong again. Okay. That is not right. How is this correct? Yeah, that's right now. Click 1, 2, 3. And then... How do I get, like... Yeah, I don't understand. Sometimes it doesn't let me do the output here. 1, 2, 3. And then save again. Input, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that gives me raised income for all of the electronics. So we'll just come off the electronic grid here at level 3. 1, 2, 3. And then these are actually at 4, which is even better. And this is not going to be efficient, but this is just me panicking a little bit. We're just going to branch off here. And then... No, not on the floor, game. Game, not... What are you doing? Delete this. I think I don't need to actually put the thing in. I could use a flat balancer, actually. Because this lets me do it in, like, 4 different directions at once. Although I can't... Collision with flat conveyor. So I can't just put it on the conveyor. So what strategies we stream? Yeah, like, what pretty much stuff like this. The idea, Crash, is that this is a stream for the American viewership, because I actually have quite a large viewership in America, but they never get a chance to catch my streams because they're always for European time. So the idea behind this is setting up an American sort of stream time. Okay, we need to do another elevator. And this needs to plug in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do this at a higher level, just so they're not fighting with each other. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then... Okay, so he's wrong. So how do I fix him? Like, it just seems to, sometimes it magically just changes the output if I do that. I don't know why that works. I don't know why that works. Okay, now they're all at level 4. So now we want to branch off here. And then come up to level this. That's level 5. Well, what I appreciate is most of your streams start at 5 a.m. for me. Even the military could get me up to 5 a.m. most of the time, yes. And I know, like, I really want to celebrate the American audience. And the American audience is quite large. Surprisingly large. I was quite, like, so it doesn't feel right to kind of ignore them. So I wanted to give them an opportunity to get a stream. So I started with Captain of Industry. And doing one shot, HO, just neutral won't be there for a week. Oh, cool. A homeworld one shot, or just a homeworld one shot, or just a one shot. Also, you were talking about finding a like better version of BattleTech. I had a news article today about something that's been released. I'll see if it's still showing on my feed. It may have gone. About a new mech minis game that's really got really tight rules. Oh, my internet just isn't working right now. I think my housemate's using the rest of it up. I don't think it's going to show up in my timeline because it's a couple of hours since I last checked. But what just happened? Vehicle's broken because it lacks maintenance. I don't know what else we can do. Yeah, it's not in my timeline anymore, but there is a new like mech game that's apparently really good. Oh, this is bad. We may be in a death spiral. I don't know if we can recover from this, if I'm being 100% honest. I really don't know if we can recover. I've got to build nothing else and just hope that we can get this going. Can I prioritize? The problem is I need to prioritize everything. Although, that is a good point. I could deprioritize these other buildings' construction and put them on really low so they're not getting the income. That's the only other construction that I've got. This is important. All of this is important. So this was the only other thing that was being built, and it has been taking some of my income. But now the only thing that is being built is these. So they are putting it together. But like this needs to be built as well as all of this. And this won't keep up with all of the demand either, but it should help. What I probably need to do is add in the income from a couple of these. But, so what's the, is it copper? Copper is actually currently falling behind. So once I've done this, I need to add another copper mine, is what I can see here. Because we're actually falling behind in the copper coming through. Slowing electronic production down. I just noticed that these are also, we'll just put these at slightly lower priority as well. Wait, the conveyor belts can also break? So there is a difficulty mode that says that everything just stops working when you have no maintenance. What's happening here instead is everything works will be reduced until we fix the maintenance. So we may be able to get out of this if we can just prioritize getting this built. Which we do have the materials for, we just need to get it done. Hopefully this is recoverable from, I hope. Where's the wood being used in our... Oh, the wood gets used here. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Can we actually get out of this? No one is coming over to deliver anything to these, which is not good. How is our truck network doing, actually? Concrete's been the biggest job over the last 3 months. Construction materials aren't even showing up in truck jobs, which is fascinating. Come on, folks, let's get this built. This is very high priority, this. Okay, that's all of the conveyor belts built, just not all of the elevators. This is not going to produce enough electronics on its own for our requirements, is it? We're probably going to need like another couple of these. I can reassign trucks from mining to building if I need to. Like, for instance, we probably got too many trucks here right now. That's 2 more trucks freed. But they're free, but they need to dump their copper before they can get free. Now our food factory is also broken. Come on, folks. Okay, he's building... This guy's got construction materials right here. That's another elevator he's just built. We're just waiting on construction 2. Oh, these only require construction 1. But most of our construction 1... Okay, the problem here is that we're not stockpiling construction 1, so there's nowhere for them to pick it up. That's what the issue is here. So we need to stop shipping construction 1 from here for the moment. And then what we'll do is we need to add a warehouse onto the back of this. So we're actually stockpiling construction 1 in that. And that should mean that we actually can carry the construction 1, which we can't do at the moment. So I'll add this here. Is this game Steel Rift? Is the game... No, it's not. The game isn't Steel Rift. It was something else. I think it began with an M. So that's now also urgent. So we get this built. I'm actually... What I can do is I can buy construction 1 from the village. No, because I need potatoes. Why do you need potatoes? Oh, so why do I have no potatoes? No, that's buy 20 potatoes for. I want to buy construction 1. I can't buy construction 1 from them. I can't buy construction 1 from them. I can get a loan on construction 1, though. So let's get a loan on construction 1 parts. We'll borrow 100. Okay. So I just got 100 construction 1 parts, which is what we're stuck on right now. Because we weren't storing construction 1 parts anywhere, so they weren't actually sitting for pickup. But now we can pick up construction 1 parts, which are what we use to build the maintenance facilities. And that should fix the problem. Fingers crossed. TM. We just need to get it built. Mech 28? I don't know if it's Mech 28 either. I'm just having a quick look. No, I don't. Stop. I'm looking for a VR game. I can't find it. I'm sorry. I just saw it at a glance, and it made me think of that post you made in the tabletop section. I'm sorry that I don't have the answer for you right now. Okay, this guy's built. No, it's not a. It's a tabletop game, not a PC game. It's a tabletop minis game. And the screenshot had a decent looking mech, and it just said that people were really interested because it was tightening things up a lot from other mech games. All right, I'm also going to add in a conveyor from here to here, just so we got a little bit more electronics coming through. Okay, this is now building a little bit of our maintenance for us. And this is also building some of our maintenance for us. So we're now, I think, getting on top of maintenance. So that's actually quite cool. It gives us the breakdown of what is using our maintenance up. I wasn't aware that we could see that. So everything should slowly get fixed now. But if we've been playing on hard mode, that would have been game over, because if you run out of maintenance, you literally just can't continue. Okay. Now the other thing I noticed we needed another one of these. So let's copy it. And we'll paste it here, so we can get everything connecting up. Okay. Now some of this I'm going to have to rework. But we do a flat conveyor. No, we need to do a U-shaped conveyor from here to here. And that's going to connect the copper up. We've already got a coal deposit, but what I'll do is I'll delete this and delete this, and we'll connect this to that. So that's coal automated. The water is sorted. I actually don't want this water tank here, I don't think. Sorry, I'll have a look after the stream. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, or I would tell you right away what it is. I'm sorry. I just remember seeing the article. I thought, oh, this Toasted would love to see this. I'm just trying to work. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to connect this pipe to this pipe, and that should fix that. Okay, cool. So we've got a second. Oh, I need to connect this up as well. So we need to connect this conveyor into this conveyor, and we need to connect this conveyor into this conveyor. There we go. So now I've just doubled our copper production. Make your own game? Fair enough. Yeah, I understand that itch very well. I have definitely been there. Okay, so that's copper production doubled. We've now got maintenance almost finished And we should start dealing with the backlog. We should keep an eye on this and make sure it actually goes up. One of the problems we've got right now is we don't have the inputs. And that's because we have no copper. There's no copper at all. So this should help with that if we double our copper income up. So now we need to wait for this to get built, which will require more tier 1 construction materials, which again, we are short on. A lot of I've actually know a few different people who have done game design, and a lot of them start their games off as a tabletop game to make sure that the gameplay loop works really well, and mechanically it plays well before they waste time actually programming a proof of concept. So I've known a couple of strategy games that have started that way, and obviously a lot of card games that have started that way, where they just make a tabletop version of it to begin with, play it out for a little while, make sure that it like plays okay, and then goes from there. Also, I just know somebody that's who's talking about spaghetti. Just seems to get a simplified spaghetti. Yes. All right. I think we're gonna get out of this particular hole. These guys are waiting for materials delivery. And the main thing they're waiting for is electronics, which again, I don't have storage for. So they can't pick the electronics up because there's nowhere the electronics are being stored. I don't really know what to do about that either. Okay, we're finally getting up on top of our electronics backlog. Could not store all vegetables. Okay, so I also now overproducing vegetables. I'm working off and on different ideas, but a big overall. What is big over 5 idea? This is my own custom board game. Yeah, it's all about time, isn't it? It's all about time. Time is always the enemy of getting anything done, especially if you've got like a job or something that steals all your time from you. Okay, I'm gonna have to quickly run and grab a drink of. I'm just gonna make myself a new coffee. I'll be gone for about 5 minutes or so, so I'm gonna just pause the game, and I will be right back. If you are watching, I recommend you get up and stretch, go get some water, and I will be back as soon as I can. See you in a few seconds. Hello, I'm back. So that's really interesting, Mishaps. I actually tried to run a D&D 5e campaign for monster races. So the party would be like lizardmen, kobolds, orcs, hobgoblins, where they find like a ruined tower in the wilderness, and it was using some modules I'd found. Am I on the right? Yeah, I'm on the right. Using some modules I'd found for building up a faction and building up like a fortress. And the idea was they would go from being just a party of creatures that would maybe do like odd jobs for the human civilizations around them, to eventually having their own amalgam monster civilization in the middle of all of these other kingdoms, and how they would deal with the fact that they're dealing with the prejudice and the anti-monster kind of rhetoric of the people around them when they just wanted to live in peace. But I never managed to get that game off the ground. I did actually start running it, but it never made it past like the opening combat, where the party were taking the tower ruins from the bandits, and basically they would build the tower up over time, and it would grow into a city. Okay, we're now overpower as well. We really need to get steam power researched. It is actually becoming incredibly urgent. The game is hitting us again and again with, have you prepared for this? No? Oh, then now you're in even more trouble. Oh, have you prepared for this? No? Oh, congratulations, you're in even more trouble right now. Yeah, it was kind of falling on the back of a game that I ran about colonialism in Australia, where the party were protecting an expedition into the New World, and they arrive and they get on this island and oh, this is really, really cool, and then this NPC gets off the boat and claims it for the queen and renames it, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, are we the bad guys? And that was like the opening beats of the campaign, and it got really interesting from there. I think we're going to need another assembly one, another electronics producing assembly one that outputs into a warehouse, because electronics, I'm thinking about where to put the electronic storage. I can't put it on any of these belts, so I think it's gonna have to be like over here maybe. So we're just gonna build another assembler. We'll start it as an assembler 1. We'll put it here, and then we need to pipe in copper, which I will just add off the end here. I forgot what I'm doing. Transport. Flat. Copper. I was like, what, how does this game work again? 3, and then we'll go... I'll actually go under here, and then pipe it into here. Not ideal. There's no point with that little bump, but I've put it into place. We're just going to have to embrace the spaghetti, okay? This is the best and most wonderful Italian conveyor belt spaghetti, and you're just going to have to deal with it because I am really bad at planning ahead. Okay, so that will then go into a unit storage. So I have electronic storage in my base. I'm worried about how untruck friendly the base is getting. I thought it's some cursed spaghetti you have there. No, it is delicious, prime, perfect spaghetti. Yeah, the trucks can just drive around here. It's not the end of the world. They just no longer can drive through here. They'll have to drive around here. Okay, the good news is we're on top of maintenance. You've got to have one conveyor going over and one going another, not spaghetti. Weaving. Is that what we've moved on to? We moved on from conveyor spaghetti to conveyor weaving. That's pretty fun. Okay, how are we doing? So this isn't even online yet. The power situation will sort itself when this gets built. Oh, there's so much to do. There's so much to do. I love the little trucks just scurrying around like ants. If you don't even have warp conveyors and weft conveyors, what are you even doing? Exactly. You've got to have them cycle through each other's different configurations as well, don't you? Oh, all right. Let's just let this build itself out. We can take it easy. Oh, so I didn't manage to get a coffee. I'm out of coffee grounds. Out of ground coffee beans, so I need to go buy some today. The trucks I pulled from mining aren't going to be a problem. We are so backlogged on copper that it's actually a really good idea. We will need to, at some point, maybe put them back, but right now it's not an issue. What is a problem is we are at max population, and we can't add any more. So let's upgrade one of these to a level 2 housing, which also requires electronics. Today was a 10 session of my campaign. I 5 times on the last attempt. Awesome. That's awesome, Toasted. Once you get into, I think once you hit like that flow and you get into the real feel of it, it goes pretty well. I think it sounds like you're doing a really good job. So I think you should be really proud of yourself. All GMs deserve a pat on the back at all times. It's a lot of work. Oh, there's no conveyor belts. We need to add some molten channels. No, we need to add, is it flat belts? Oh, it's because I've got a warehouse in here. I'm not going to bother with a warehouse. We're just going to connect straight through. So I think it's just flat. From here to here and here to here. I wonder why I didn't build the warehouse. That's weird. Let's make this high priority. Like everything is blooming high priority at the moment. Urgent and urgent. So that gets done. My physical notebooks are filled up. I think I've said, yeah. I actually prefer physical notebooks as well when I GM, even though I'm quite a digital person. It's just something about writing it down. I think really sets it strongly in my mind. Although I am also very much a improvisational GM, where I will go into a session with notes, but I will go where my mind takes me while I'm actually running it, and then use that to prepare for the next session. So quite often I'll go into a session with like a list of NPCs and who they are and what they're doing, and I just roll with it. Especially if I'm doing like a town or something. A dungeon, I'll probably sketch out the major parts of the dungeon. So if I've got like, okay, we're gonna do this puzzle, that'll be done in detail, or we're gonna do this, I'll do that in detail. But honestly, most of the time I'll just wing it. Because that's just the vibe that I like to bring to the table. That's also a really good way to do it, mishaps. Okay, we're now having two problems. One, we're still not producing enough maintenance one, because we're not getting enough. It's not because we don't have enough maintenance one's factories, it's because the throughput of goods isn't high enough. And the second is that we don't have enough workers to actually do everything. So why don't you produce, I haven't seen you produce anything. You need to produce electronics, please. I have a Google Doc and go shoot with all my long customers, races, and classes. Yeah, that's also very good to have. You want to have as much of this information available at all times. Much like a spaghetti factory, my notes are not organized. This is a very organized factory. What are you talking about? Look how beautiful it is from space. Isn't this the best factory you've ever seen in your life? Doesn't it just look majestic and wonderful? It's so well built. It's so well designed. Everything has a place. Notes for other campaigns, including yours, Toasted. All my characters, everything, including the half-formed ideas. Yeah, it's always good to record that stuff, though. You're always going to come back to it. All right, let's just let things build out now that we've hopefully got on top of this particular issue. Oh, there's like so many little road bumps in this game that can hit you and just take you out of nowhere. Honestly, it's a little bit insane. It's also getting hard to track all the stuff that we need to build. We really need this copper mine online, this copper facility online ASAP, so that we can add to the copper income input into here. We're just not making enough copper at the moment. Like, what's the hold up here? So output is full. So here we're being held up by slag. All right, let's add a slag line then. Slag comes on a loose U-shaped container. Now I do have a slag container here, which is currently full. So I don't know if we want to pipe into this, but if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's the max height. How would this even work? The scary thing is I can just do this, and the game's going to just work it out, which I really don't like the sound of. There we go. If I walk away from this whole thing with saps and say I at least inspire someone with an idea or something, that is an easy W for you. Oh, I hope you don't. I hope you stick with it, because it sounds like a really fun campaign. when I move, I think I'm going to look at getting back into role-playing. I think that's a pretty good way to make some new friends. I just need to get out of this place that I'm living in at the moment. It's time to move on. All right, let's bring this to here, and then into here. There you go. So that's output for all of our. It's gonna take a while to build, but that's gonna get our slag out. I just tried a decision from on Twitch, right? So YouTube, yeah, notorious. Everyone's having that problem. Twitch is just not working properly at the moment. I don't know what to do about it. I'm a bit worried, honestly. After spending all this time trying to build the Twitch audience up, to suddenly have it be not working, yeah. Yeah, so I was going to be moving out sooner, but obviously the dog getting sick, I haven't wanted to leave her without 2 people to care for her, so I'm hanging around a little bit longer than I was expecting to, but I want to make sure the dog's nice and healthy. And it is a 2-person job looking after her right now. She gets a lot of medicine in the mornings, a lot of medicine at night. She's on bed rest, so she's not allowed to like go for walks or anything. And she also needs some stuff, like some medicine put onto her tail every day, which is another thing that needs to be done. Let's mark this as a high priority so we can get more people. Because we definitely need more workers now. We're at minus 11 workers right now. Because we're just building so much stuff. But slag is now our biggest issue when it comes to baking copper. Now, at the moment, this is maxed out, and this is producing. So maybe we need, and also the output for this is maxed out. So maybe we need to dump excess slag. Can I set that up? Truck keeps empty if above. So if I just bring this to here, that means it's going to export slag if it's over this amount. And then I think we can set slag to be dumped here. But I don't want all of my slag to be dumped here. I only want the slag to be dumped here if it's totally full. Yeah, she's doing okay. She's definitely... So I took her to the vet again on Friday. The vet was really happy to see that she was... this storage is not accessible because of this. Okay, we need to fix that. That's a pretty important storage. It's a very important storage that I just blocked up. What we could do instead is just connect this into here, like that. And that means the coal is still going to be accessible because it's important that we get to that coal. Okay, now we really are. I have to admit, now we are really getting deep into spaghetti. All right, Miss Saps, thanks for tuning in. It's been good to have you here. Honestly, I'm quite tired today. I'm probably not going to go for more than another half hour, I think. But I do intend to maybe have a nap, and then I'm going to record some more. I think I'm going to try to record more Voices of the Void. And get out of that stupid cabin now that I know how to do it. I feel so stupid that I got stuck in it in the first place because it's so obvious now that I know what I needed to do. So I feel like a bit of a doofus, if I'm being honest. So what I'm noticing is we're not producing a lot of rock. So I might actually just connect in the slag belt to the rock belt because all it's going to do is filter in. And I think that's fine. That shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend, Miss Apps, if you're not back before I end the stream. Okay, we definitely need more people. How far off this are we? So we just need more electronics. The electronics are coming slowly. But we can't do that properly until we get more copper. We can't get more copper. Okay, well, one thing I can do is I can turn these off. How do I turn a place off? Pause and... pause. So that gives me back the workers that I need to manage everything for now. So all of my facilities are working properly. We're just so tight on resources. We basically need another one of these factories to produce enough resources to support this one factory. I don't think I've scaled appropriately enough, unfortunately. But that's one of our biggest problems. I actually think that's the biggest issue by far. Okay, we're very low on maintenance, but we do appear to be keeping up with it. Once we get the copper production a little bit more efficient, in fact, we're now producing copper from both of the facilities, so we're now doubling our copper input, which should help a lot with our electronics output. That should let us get on top of our maintenance deficiency. I'm not worried about not being able to store enough food. That's actually, like, having excess food I think is a good thing at the moment. Okay, we've got almost constant copper coming through, which is really, really good. That actually is going to help a lot. And that's going to help with maintenance going up. We're also now producing electronics for here. I think we may be coming out of this. I think we may be okay. I still haven't managed to build that diesel generator I tried to build like 20 minutes ago. That's how badly backed up our construction priorities are. Yeah, the copper's almost constant now, which is good. We have so little electronics, it's not even showing up. It doesn't even show up here as a trackable resource at the moment. But we are tracking potatoes. Yeah, I can't even track. Oh no, so yeah, it's because it's a pinned thing. If I wanted to track electronics, I can click this, and now I'm tracking electronics. There we go. Let's unpin potatoes. I don't really need potatoes. Can I change the order from here? No, I can't. I'm playing Factorio, looking at coal here and thinking, oh, no concrete under buildings, and I remember how critical concrete is and not just free to spam onto everything. Yeah, I've also been playing Factorio. Everyone made fun of my my base last time, so I actually restarted. And it's doing a lot better. I'm just about to hit robots in this new playthrough. Like literally building the robot production facility at the moment. But that's where I always... So robots is always where my campaigns fail. Every time. It's always at robots. I just can't bootstrap from robots into the next stage. I don't know why. I just, for whatever reason, it's just when my brain breaks down and I just stop being able to operate properly. It's always an issue. Yeah. Not enough maintenance. Still struggling with maintenance. We're up to 32% maintenance one though, so that's a big increase. There's definitely constant copper flow coming through, which is a big change. Our biggest problem is just getting on top of this slag and making sure we have enough coal, because there's no coal in here right now. So this needs to be it's quite important that it gets its coal, but I can't set a priority on it, unfortunately. And I will need this slide to finish. For your next restart, we turn down the bioevolution rate and how fast it expands with evolution. Then you can get bots going at a real nice wall without heavy pressure. Well, I started in a jungle, and it means my pollution basically hasn't spread at all. So I've only had to clear 2 nests. The biters have done absolutely no evolution at all, and my pollution hasn't reached any other nests yet. So my wall, I have a wall, but it hasn't been touched. That's a big difference. The base I had before, and the base before, I always start in deserts, because that's just what the game gives me, and I end up in a constant war of attrition with biters at the walls. And I think this is maybe what's going to change everything. All right, just wait for this big slag thing to be done. And then we're looking for this. Okay, there's the slag, the great slag channel is complete. So we can empty all the slag out of the blast furnace, which is good. Is the slag one over here done as well? Yeah, so we're actually out of slag over here now. So this needs to now speed up because we're no longer backed up on slag. So now our slag production is the problem. It's the thing that has slowed us down a lot, not anything else. And we're basically just waiting for this to upgrade. So we need 8 more electronics, and that will upgrade and give us more happier people and more people, which would be both of them. We also need that diesel generator online as well, because our electricity deficit is getting bigger and bigger. It's just endless. It's just endless. Need to fix this thing. 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 It's really getting on top of me. I do have to say, why is this showing a snail next to it now? No need to rush this. Go take your time and make sure to develop patch your industry as well. Okay, never noticed that before. I do have to say that I am quite tired today, and I am really feeling it at the moment. So I'm thinking I'm going to end this stream a little bit earlier than I normally would on a Saturday, and maybe we'll look at a different game next Saturday and come back to Captive Industry after a little bit of a break, just because I want to keep things fresh. And I'm very aware that most of what this stream has been is just being me like turning the camera. It's one of those games, even at max speed, we're just waiting for things to happen, and I want to do something maybe a little bit more exciting. So we may look at a different game for next week. Something that's just come out and I'm really interested in is the Altars. I'm really fascinated by this game. It looks really, really interesting. and I'm wondering if I want to do a series on it. It's the type of sci-fi that I find fascinating, and I think from playing the demo, I actually think it looks quite good in the demo. Great game for when we make dinner. Yes, it is a great game for making dinner. What I want to do is I want to get this built before I look at thinking about ending the stream, just so that that's our next major milestone. But has anyone got any thoughts on the altars? Have you seen it? I can play the trailer for it before we end the stream if you want to see what I'm talking about. The doggy is barking, but my housemate should be taking care of her. So I'm not going to get up just yet unless she keeps going. That is my housemate's job when I'm doing streaming on the Saturday morning. That's Sunday mornings. That is the deal that we made. I've already fed her, let her out, and given her medicine today. But if she keeps barking, I will have to take action. Whoa, my stream bitrate went up to 9,000 kbs for a second there. That's crazy. The altars looks cool, very moody. Yeah, I'm really interested in the altars. I'm not sure it's a game for everybody, but I think it's a game for me. We need 4 more electronics. Unfortunately, the thing that's making electronics for us is out of batteries. Let's set this to ultra high priority. Okay, it needs electronics as well. I'm not sure I've seen it. So what can we turn off for the moment? Let's turn off this. That should help a little bit with our power issues. I need to get this powered up again. Let's maybe turn off this one concrete thing. That hasn't helped. Maybe this one as well. Halve our power. So Jordan and I ran away last night making 2 cats who are sisters into goddesses. They love playing with dice and like 30 downstairs, so I decided to make them into deities. So Mia's and her twin sister are the goddesses of dice, astral engines, and D20, D12s, and D6s are associated with meiosis. You could have characters who are obsessed with rolling dice, and other people are like, why are you doing it? Like, what's wrong with you? I think that'd be quite good fun. So we're stuck again, waiting for more things. So we still need more electronics, but we can't produce electronics because our electronics factory has no power. But we can't get power for that because we can't build another diesel generator. We can't build a diesel generator because we need electronics for the diesel generator. And I definitely can't buy electronics from anyone, right? Like, there's no way to get electronics as an imported good. Not from here. And not from here. So I can't get electronics. And that's the one thing I need. I need power or electronics, and they're the 2 things I cannot import. The Unnamed Sisters are associated with D10s and D8s. I like that. What do we do? How do I fix this? Okay, maybe we can turn off our farms at the moment because we are massively over on food. This doesn't seem to be helping. I just want to power this. If I increase the... Actually, if I increase the... yes, okay. So if you increase the priority of a building, that means that it gets electricity over something else. So we just need to increase the priority. Oh, our buildings are finished. Okay, there we go. People actually have buildings to live in now. They are no longer living in shipping containers. They have houses. And that feels to me like a decent milestone. So I know that it's a little bit earlier than normal, but I'm really struggling to stay awake, and I don't want to push myself too hard. And I'd like to do some recording today, and if I like stream for ages, I'm not going to be able to do some recording. And I want to do some Star Sector. I want to do some Voices of the Void. And I want to have a look at the altars. So let's just chill. Let's end the stream. I'm going to end the stream here, and have a little nap and get some breakfast because I haven't eaten any yet today. That is a cute cat idea, by the way, Toasted. I do like that. So just make a new save. Stream 3. I didn't make up these save names, by the way. They come with the game. Stream 3 is saved. Cool. And then I'm gonna finish up here for now. So thank you all for tuning in. I don't know what's going on with Twitch. I'll need to try and do a little bit more of an investigation to work out what's happening. But I appreciate you all chilling out with me. And I will see you on Tuesday if I don't see you before then. And next week we'll work out what we want to stream, and we'll stream something a little bit different from Captain of Industry, I think. I'm not saying Captain of Industry is over. I'm just saying we're going to put it on the shelf for a little bit, find something a little bit more exciting to play, play that for a little while, and then we'll come back to it. But I'm going to head off now. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day. And as you noticed too. And I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao for now, though. You're all wonderful. Don't forget that.